Trigger green. Holy moly. Great job! Yeah! This guy. Thank you! Wow! Hell yeah. Woo-hoo! Great job, man!
Now we got a crash. Car spinning left and right.
Buddy, let her rip. Rain like hell, baby! Come on! Oh my god, guys! Yes! Yes! Unbelievable! You guys are the best! Yes, 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 yes! Oh, what a year!
I'm just laughing at the fact that I've already unmuted the microphone and then these guys are talking.
Oh my gosh.
So, there's the camera. Hi guys, welcome to DannyBTalks.
Hi.
We don't get to do this often, but it's Nashville Superspeedway week, so we're having an in-person episode. We have Jarrett, we have myself, there's Darian, and here's Eric. Wait,
Eric.
no, you're not.
No, this is Jake from freaking Euphoria. What are you talking about, guys?
I'm about 6 inches smaller than Eric.
So we do have IDK Player. If you guys are not familiar with him, make sure you go check out his channel after the podcast. But we've got a breakdown. Not much that happened last week, but we had a few races that happened, and we all got together, and we watched that all together last weekend.
Here, as a matter of fact.
I was actually sitting here on
in
Saturday.
the same room. There was a game
yeah.
of pool
And we played
happening
pool.
on this table.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I lost both times to IDK.
I did beat him once. That's all. We're not going to
He hit the 8 ball
more
in.
than that.
He just had to put that out there. So.
Yeah, we're not going to question any more than that.
But hey, how's it all going, everybody? I don't know if that made any sense.
How's it all
That's pretty
going,
good.
everybody?
It's going pretty good.
So the truck race, I've actually already forgot who won.
Well, it says right there that Todd Gilliland did.
Yeah, Todd Gilliland had won. Oh, you have to question these cup leeches coming in, right? But no, Todd Gilliland's an underdog
I guess
driver.
that's the reason I'm having trouble remembering it, because he doesn't feel like a cup driver at this
he doesn't.
point.
Didn't he skip Xfinity? I mean, I think so, right?
Kinda.
I don't think he did full time.
He might have made some select starts, I think. But
It just
yeah.
didn't feel like a cup leech.
No,
Like
he didn't.
it felt like another Truck Series driver won.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It just, he was in a different number than last year.
Yeah.
Is all. Like, it felt pretty much like a normal truck race, which compared to last year is probably better.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you guys at home, but last year was a complete disaster, and this year they could actually race. Like, the Highline came
This
in.
year the race was nice. It was just a broadcast that was a disaster.
Well, that's Fox.
Yeah, that's Fox for you. But also, I don't know. It's just, I love Jamie Little as a pit road reporter, but as far as in the booth, I don't know. It's just not my cup of tea, personally.
That's fair.
I'm going to be honest. So I want to point this out. There was not a lot of people there at all.
No.
And I don't know how many people want Knoxville to stay, including for the future. But, I mean, you can look back to how Eldora was and how many people went to Eldora, and Knoxville kind of looked like a ghost town out there.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing, man. Like, Knoxville, they care about sprint car racing. That's their bread and butter out there. Knoxville Nationals.
That's what the
they're big
track's
out there
made
a
for,
reason.
so.
Yeah, and like, so when they hear about stock car racing, like, they're like, we don't care.
Even dirt late models and modifieds don't race as well on that track compared to sprint cars and midgets.
It's made for sprint car racing.
Well, and last year with how bad it was, I don't blame people for not showing up. I mean, last year I was supposed to go, and I didn't, cause just last minute. I don't even remember why.
No,
and I thought I lucked out.
Yeah, I got lucky there.
I would not want to sit through that.
We were watching both that and SRX, and we made a comment of how low the SRX crowd looked, but then that was huge compared to the NASCAR crowd. So
well, and they didn't really do anything to show like, hey, this is the race of the weekend. Like, I remember back in the day they do that a lot, like for like Nashville Superspeedway or Mexico City when the Busch Series back then was the only one out there. They'd be like, hey, watch this, be on the Cup broadcast, be on Xfinity, trucks, everything like that.
Yeah.
This year, I knew people who, like, you know, on Twitter I saw, who are usually on it, who are like, oh, wait, there's a race this weekend?
Yeah, just not very little promotion, too. And we'll get to the SRX promotion fiasco in a second. But to stay on topic with the Knoxville Truck Series race, when's Carson Hocevar going to catch a break here?
when you stop tweeting, like how we all had the same thought
Dude,
there.
every time it seems like something like this was his race to lose, and then all of a sudden he blows one of these spec motors and stuff too. And he even said in his post-race interview, he's like, "Well, there's not much analyzing to do because again, they're all spec motors. Everyone's running the same."
I'm gonna tell him this weekend that you did that.
I didn't do. It's not real, bro.
Jinx is not real, dude.
It may not be real, but he believes it.
No, he don't believe that. Carson Hocevar, he's too smart to believe that.
He
He's a good
tweeted
sport.
it.
He's a good sport. Oh yeah, and he spell checked me too.
Yeah, it's got to be a good sport with you taking him out every week.
Well, I'm going to point something
He will
else
get his
out
win very soon.
here soon in just a moment. There's two things that I took away from SRX and Knoxville this year. At least for the way the standpoint was for us. It's not the new kid on the block anymore. You know, like SRX last year, everyone's excited because it was something new. A former NASCAR driver making its own series. And then all of a sudden this year it's like, oh, they're back. And same thing with Knoxville. Oh, yeah, they're back. You know, it wasn't the inaugural run. So, I mean, I could see some people that were only there because it was new not want to come back because it's, you know,
at this
it's not
point,
trending.
I mean, the Truck Series, man, like, I know they won a dirt race, but, like, Eldora seemed like it was the perfect fit. You know, Tony Stewart, I mean, at first it was good, but then towards the end, it kind of lost its luster, but I'd rather have Eldora back over Knoxville.
I don't want
Eldora back.
Yeah, we want dirt at Atlanta.
Yeah. But I'd rather have that.
I think I'd rather, at this point, unless we can get Eldora back, let's just keep it at Bristol and let's just go with that.
Yeah.
But, you know, we talked about it a bit earlier with the broadcast. They missed a flip at a dirt track.
They missed, actually, a flip and an almost flip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
well, that's typical Fox.
Well, and we should expect that Fox broadcasts on the weekends that there's not Cup when it's the B or C team. You know, I mean, they even had the B team in the booth.
You know, they definitely was giving some vacations out to a lot of the camera people, too.
Well, and I know, for instance, you know, people rip on Vince Welch, and Jamie Little coming in wasn't really an improvement too much. It's just not what she's, you know, specializes in. But you could tell that they like, a lot of them were not there. Yeah. And that it showed really bad. They weren't catching stuff. They were catching what was on the camera. It reminded me of COVID races.
I think I'm just more wondering, why was there no just like stationary camera set up or something like that? One that's like someone doesn't have to be at, you know.
I know, like, we also, like, you know, the camera people, they do get some of the blame, but also don't forget about the freaking producers, because you know they're supposed to see some of that stuff and go, oh, camera 1, camera 2, camera 3 here, and I don't know. It's just no matter who the freaking box producer is, it's always something. It's always some type of problem.
Yeah, I would like to say it gets old, but we're at the point that I think we're kind of used to it. Like,
it's sad though.
If this was like 4 years ago when we were on here talking about this, we would be like up in arms, outraged. Now we're used to it, which is kind of bad because now we have such a low bar.
Yeah.
But I don't really know what way to fix it, except that like NASCAR has to get on them about it. But if they're paying the bills for NASCAR, they have to control. Like, I
don't think NASCAR's gonna step in,
especially with the Truck Series. Like, I could see with Cup if they get enough, like enough is enough kind of thing. But if it's for the third series, like, you know, I don't see anything. It's a step above MAV TV at this point.
At this point, I think they're just happy that they even get it on cable at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, remember, it's only Fox that broadcasts the Truck Series.
Yeah, so they'll be here this weekend. I think they'll do better at Nashville, but I think it's also because NASCAR is full on. It's one of the few triple headers.
What I've seen is that a lot of the same people who do it for NBC also do it for Fox, is what I've noticed. I think it's in a way, it's like more of a collaboration of NASCAR productions. It's just that they're the ones who are the ones like putting it out there. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So a lot of it's the same crew, and it might even be the same even in the production area. So we might not be that much different other than the graphics and the people we see on TV.
I don't know. It seems like there is a difference though with NBC and Fox.
Yeah.
Like, it does seem like there is a real difference between them. So
I know. I'm not an expert on this, but I know there's a point where they all kind of combine together, if that makes sense.
Yeah, there definitely is. I think with the camera stuff, I think directing is different and stuff like that. The major things that you can change.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been changing the way the trucks work a little bit. I mean, I don't know who made the decision to make more truck races on Saturday, but you can clearly look at the schedule from this year and even 2 years, you know, down in the past. Trucks used to be racing on Friday nights all the time. Now it's like Saturday, and Homestead is going to be having the trucks on Saturday. That caught me off guard.
Because Friday night is like the dead slot for TV. Like, that is where you send your program to die, TV ratings-wise. I'm like, looking at the ratings this week, I mean, they had well over 500,000 watch, 625,000, which for an off weekend in NASCAR is a really big deal.
Yeah.
There's not really too much more to look at than that. Like, I know we can go in like the Target demo, and we'll look a little more in that a little later with SRX, but
As far as the performances in the truck race, did anybody in particular stand out? Derek Kraus, to me, especially did.
Oh, he was good last
Yeah,
year
he was
too,
great.
so he wasn't a bad pick to look at going into it.
Deegan won a stage.
Yeah, she won a heat race. But, I mean, she was in the top...
Sorry, heat race.
Yeah,
on stage.
I mean, she was in the top 10, but again, dirt is supposed to be her specialty, so it's I mean, she's got to step it up, man. That's enough at this point.
And I think she'd say the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think at this point, the excuses for Deegan are out the window.
And also the hype train is there's no...
There is none.
Yeah, there's no more hype
It's
anymore.
derailed.
I mean, you got to understand, Todd Gillen won in the same equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Preece has won and nearly won this year in the same equipment.
Yep.
He might win this week in the same equipment.
And I guess maybe a better comparison too would be Tanner Gray, since those two are Cup drivers, and yes, they've won in the lower series. Tanner Gray, he's not setting the world on fire, but he's a lot closer to the playoff cut line than Haley Deegan is.
Yeah, he's performed much better.
Yeah, and he comes from a drag racing background, if I'm not mistaken, too. So it's not like he's he's raced stock cars his whole life and stuff. So kind of similar to Deegan, she was coming from a different sort of racing and stuff, and so was Tanner. So yeah, look, it's not the best equipment in the world, but it's not horrible. It's not horrible equipment.
Real quick, I seen someone said in the chat, that's an awesome room. Whose place is that? We're at my house. So.
Yes.
This guy's.
See, some of the fans,
awesome.
we've
The
had
man
people,
cave.
some people have called it what is it?
The Danny
Danny
Cloud
House.
Yeah, we're a bunch of YouTubers in the Cloud House together. No,
But you know what? Us four combined though in subs, we if you add all of our subscribers together, it's 100 plus K.
Okay, quit inflating the ego.
Yeah, there you go. It's a Cloud House, bro.
We are at mine and my wife's house. This is our bonus room, more or less.
Yeah.
So it's a good area to
Got
hang
it set
out.
up on the pool table.
Probably literally outside of my garage, which is probably a junky mess. Probably the only place where we could all get there and do this. So.
This is the Clout Throne.
But
we had a truck race. But
Yeah,
we had another race.
Yeah, the SRX race.
Yes.
You gotta be careful how you.
SRX race.
What was it Carnation said? I'm so ready for
sex.
No,
SRX. SRX. Freaking autocorrect. It's a real thing. Autocorrect always does that to me.
Yeah, yeah. But I would say, what were your guys' takeaways from this race? There was, because we talked about before, there was no hype leading up to this.
It was just like, okay, Saturday's here, let's do it.
It's just sort of there.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about the ratings a bit, but it's what were your guys' takeaways? Because I did not feel that same kind of buzz that there was last year.
It's so weird because, we know who is running their social media stuff, and in all honesty, he's doing a great job with it.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I feel like the mainstream promotion was not there this year.
No. And that's, I think, talking in the DMs with Eric this past week, he was saying something like, outside of CBS, I don't think I've seen anything whatsoever for it. Which is a similar problem that NASCAR actually has.
Yeah, but once again, I think that is because this is a sophomore season. It's not like the new thing on the block anymore.
But you got to get it. You can't get it just on CBS itself because, we'll talk about it in a bit. But I will say they had under 1 million viewers, which for a main CBS Saturday night slot is atrocious.
And I know, yes, they technically went up with NASCAR head to head, but still,
you went up against
a truck race.
You went up against the truck race on an off week at one of the worst tracks
on FS1,
and you couldn't bring in 1 million viewers like that. And I get, yes, there's not going to be the overlap this week, but that's just
it's like saying that if you're a football fan, your two choices was the XFL and high school football, and high school football nearly beat XFL.
Well, it's like watching Jets, Jaguars, or Texans, Bears.
Yeah.
There's not. It wasn't really that good of an option.
Or anybody. The Dolphins are playing.
The racing
the 8 and 9
itself
season
wasn't terrible. It wasn't anything different than last year. There was no good promotion going in. There was really no good storylines that came out of it. I mean, even Paul Tracy wasn't that down bad this year.
And also by and large too, it's basically mostly the same drivers we saw last year too. It's the diehard fans are gonna get excited for it no matter what, because you see the old heads racing and stuff, and you have some of the
you'll have the old
younger
diehards.
Drivers. Yeah, the old diehards and stuff. But
I can't remember, and I'm sorry that I forgot your name. I didn't have the tweet ready to go, but I saw a tweet that responded to me this week who was just like, I have no attachment. The person was like, I started watching pretty recently. I superstars to me are Chase Elliott, Kyle
I-
Busch.
Well, and that's
I
another thing.
saw that tweet you were talking about.
Yeah, and it's like if you can't bring in any of the younger fans, because I'm sorry, Haley Deegan, if this was 3 years ago, would bring that in.
Yeah, not anymore.
But not anymore.
She'll bring in a fair amount of her YouTube audience, I'm sure, whenever she's racing. But we're going to see Chase Elliott get into the car this year. We're going to see Ryan Blaney. Those will be races where it's going to be more interesting what the ratings do.
I think it's just if you have your premiere, you got to have the big guns out, and it's like if you look at anybody in that field. Like, can you name somebody in that field who would bring a big young audience, or not even a young audience, just like a normal mainstream audience?
Maybe Castro Neves, but once
Yeah,
again,
maybe.
they're running off nostalgia. Like this
Yeah.
is literally their plan
it's
from what it
geriatric-
came off of.
It's geriatric IROC. That's what it is.
It's the retirement series.
If you're going to go after people of that time period, that age range, get a Jimmy Johnson, get a Dale Jr. You do what you have to get them.
Other than Deegan, who's the youngest person in
Ernie
NASCAR?
Francis Jr.
Ernie Francis.
But he's not full time.
Yeah, that's it though.
Like
Ryan
full
Newman.
timers.
Oh, full timers.
Maybe
full time is
Newman.
probably Newman.
And Newman's what, in his 40s?
Yeah.
Like,
That's what I'm saying. It's the retirement series. It's the retirement home series, basically.
Like, and really, this week it makes no sense why they couldn't have gotten some NASCAR guys. It's literally their off week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I do question going forward. Like, I think they're gonna have some races that break that million mark. And I know that people are like, talk about the racing, don't talk about the ratings, but it's like that. It's a big thing. If they can't get over 1 million, there won't be racing.
They need to do whatever they can to get this guy in it. They need to get Kyle Larson into a
Unless they
dirty
got
race.
this guy in it.
I want to see
Well-
Kyle Busch too. I'd be interested to see Kyle Busch race in one of these races.
Oh,
too.
he'd wipe the
Yeah.
floor with them.
Oh, he would. He
That would be
Yeah.
amazing.
Mhm.
I mean, he races so many. People might not know this, but Kyle Busch races a lot of different vehicles each year.
Mhm.
He was actually racing a wingless sprint car or something like that recently, and he actually posted a clip on social media that a car flipped and missed him by like just barely.
Yeah.
No, I will say somebody who would probably bring in like that underground audience of racing put on the show this week. That was Bubba Pollard.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
he flat out actually put on a good show and single-handedly made the race interesting.
He had a flat tire, had to go all the way to the back of the field,
And
then
still nearly won.
Yeah, nearly won the
Yeah.
race towards the end. Just
So-
needed one more caution there.
So I think this year, something they really need to key in on is those local guys. They did a good job of that last year, where they would like key in on these guys that you had no idea who they were.
And what they do, they call them local superstars or something like that.
I can't remember like the term they used, but
I think it was like the local seat or something. I can't remember. It had something to do with them being obviously from the racetrack.
And I think that's something they should key in on. Make somebody who is like an underground favorite, a cult favorite, make them a name. Make these people a name with these other guys you have there. Have it like you can almost have it being like a passing of the torch kind of thing. Because I don't, you've seen there's a lot less. It seems like there's a lot less people who are full time or doing a majority of the races this year, and they're just getting more drivers, which I'm cool with. I want the diversity of drivers, have as many in there as possible. But at the same time, it's like, if you're not going to have that many continuing storylines, you have to branch out in different ways. And I mean, again, that all goes back to actually promoting the whole series.
But also, if you want to like appeal to a younger audience too, I wouldn't mind them maybe experimenting with some of the younger up and coming guys. Maybe get a guy like a Noah Gregson in,
Yes.
Ty Gibbs, a Carson Hocevar.
Noah Gregson versus Paul Tracy.
Because I mean they're not racing for points or nothing, so it's like, hey, why not? They're gonna go all out,
Oh, you don't know how much I want to see Ty Gibbs take out Tony Stewart.
Yeah, I mean that would be very entertaining. And then I know the argument is like, well, they're not real superstars, blah blah blah. Yeah, I'm like, please, like.
Is Haley Deegan really?
Yeah, that's what I was just
about
about
to
to
say
say.
that.
I'm
I
like,
was about
look,
to say
Haley
that.
Deegan's in it, and I
Like,
don't
don't
keep
think
bringing
she
her
would-
up, but
I think she'd agree.
yeah,
She is a superstar in the sense of everything she's achieved a lot outside of the track.
Yeah.
But she's a
which is a hell of a
okay
lot.
racer.
Still,
Yeah,
but
she's a superstar in media, but as a driver,
not
like
yet.
you're in the third tier series of NASCAR.
But yeah,
Like-
no. But to my earlier point, though, I would love to see guys like a Carson Hocevar, Noah Gregson, a Ty Gibbs race. Like, and also like, if you want to get some more older guys, Where's Jimmy Spencer? Where's Robbie Gordon?
I'll tell you who I'd love to see. I'd love to see Colton Herta try dirt.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
in those
Herta.
cars.
Or Jeremy Mayfield as well. Oh wait, is he racing?
He's not confirmed, but he's been like, if they're available, I'm willing to come in
Just
here.
put 'em in.
So here's the thing. Ordinarily they're supposed to have 12 cars, but they actually ran 13 this weekend because Castroneves literally was not even supposed to be in this race until like the day before. He called up Don Hogg, was like, "Hey, can I have a car?" And he's
But
like,
also,
"Oh, okay."
don't forget about the bet that was made as well.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. So no one knew about this until Castroneves won the race, and he said it live on TV. He said that Don Hawk bet him that if he could show up and win that race, he would make sure that he gets funded a NASCAR ride. He didn't say Cup Series, he just said NASCAR ride.
Project 91.
Yep.
That's where my mind first goes to. What do you guys think? Where do you think we see Castroneves make a run this year, or do you think maybe he would wait and see if Indianapolis changes to the old configuration?
I don't think this year, but I really think the Brickyard 400 is coming back next year. I think that would be
If
the
that
one.
comes back, that might be worth me going to the Brickyard 400 to see if he could win NASCAR on that.
I don't know if he'd win, but I think just having him there would be.
If he's in
enough.
Trackhouse equipment, he'd have a chance.
He'd have a chance, but I think there's such a big difference between the two. I
Yeah.
mean, look at how Juan Pablo Montoya did compared to.
It took him a few
lot of
tries at
others.
Indy to finally get the hang of it.
Well, that's just in NASCAR in general. It was tough for him, and
Yeah.
he's one of the best drivers.
What about
ever.
Daytona, though? I think he would try Daytona.
Yeah.
Easily. Because, I mean, look at it. It's going to be hard to fill out the field, I think, next year. Like, we barely just had someone go home this year. And just with that extra 91,
They always pull an extra car out of their butts every year.
I think he'll try Daytona. I mean, he's won, 4 times now at Indy? Might as well try the stock car game.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind him trying Daytona this year for this regular season
I'd say-
finale. I wouldn't mind it.
I think I don't know about this year because Project 91, Trackhouse, all them, they were only doing one race.
Yeah,
Oh,
And
okay,
that might be
okay.
flexible,
Yeah.
but I think next year would be better because they'll have a better control and grasp on the car. There's a lot longer for scheduling. I think it would work a lot better for next year.
I would see them running, I don't know if they've even said a confirmed number. I would say maybe they run 10 races next year with the 91 car.
Yeah.
I
think
could
that-
see
I think
8 to
that's-
10 races.
I think that's fair. Who all they get, I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing Jimmy Johnson come back for one last NASCAR race. That's just kind of
Yeah.
selfish.
Let's be
but-
honest here. Nothing's off the table for that team.
No.
I mean, no one expected them to come out of the gate this year, really, with 3 wins already.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised, literally, if they bring
I-
Castroneves to the 500
I like
next year.
this idea. It's random, but Paul Menard for the 91 at Road America. Let's try it.
Yeah, why not?
He's won there in the Xfinity Series.
If you want to get hard for Menard at Road America, lick that like button. Same with Castroneves.
And right now, we've only got 78 people who are hard for Menard. I mean, that's disappointing, guys.
But as
we
far
need
as
to get 100.
as far as specifically just international drivers, like who would you like to see next year in that ride?
Let's go freaking nuts with it, Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, Lewis
Yeah.
Hamilton.
Let's go nuts with it. I
Yeah.
don't care if it's unrealistic.
I would love
Let's
to
have
see.
fun.
Hey, I want to see maybe. Hey, Colton Herta does a Cup race, perhaps.
Montoya come
Hey,
back.
Yeah, Montoya too.
I mean, he has experience in the Cup Series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would love to see Kimi Räikkönen have another go as well. So I want to see how he does this year, of course. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I can see a lot of them trying the Brickyard 400 if it comes back next year, which I
There's
honestly
only
think
one
it's...
Project 91 car.
No, I know, but like possibly, maybe there's another team that might try that. I mean, look how well it's working out for Trackhouse.
Well, I mean, you could have somebody sub in with the colleague team if they don't have a full-time driver for the 16 next year.
Yeah,
That's a good
they
point.
could do that.
I at this point, like the way that NASCAR is, I'm both surprised by crazy things, but I'm also used to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like any of it could happen.
I'm glad it's happening, though. I mean,
Yeah.
2-3 years ago, what do we have? 2 New Hampshire races, 2 Pocono races. This was a whole summer, by the
Dover
way.
races.
Two- and then, Michigan as well. There was like barely any track diversity. And then now here you are. We're talking about a possible street course.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I would say anyone's on the table at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like anybody is on the table, and that's the fun part of it. Like there's a little I won't say mystery, but there's like something to keep you on the edge of your seat outside of the race itself now, which is really cool because you didn't have that even 2 or 3 years ago.
and it's great to see new teams, step up to the plate and take it to these established teams like Hendrick Motorsports, Joe Gibbs and stuff, and innovating the sport in ways such as Project 91. So I love it.
Yeah. So I mean, we kind of went off of the SRX train.
We
but-
went off everything there.
Yeah.
Well, that's the fun part, We don't have that much to go over racing wise
Yeah.
this week. Let's go off and just go on tangents.
So yeah, that's gonna do it for SRX and the Truck Series.
Well, we don't have a poll this week.
Yeah, I was about to say.
That's the problem.
That. Yeah.
You're
poll.
right.
There's no poll, and
So how about this? Let's ask each other. How did we like the race?
which one?
Let's just say Truck Series.
Yeah, Truck Series.
It was mid. I mean, it was better than last year.
Okay. Rate it in your 5 things.
Okay,
Great,
so
great, good.
And I want everyone to put this in the chat here too. We'll get a sense of it. So what'd you think of the truck race? Did you think it was great, good, average, below average, or bad? Let us know in the comments. We're not going to have any like scientific data with it. But
We could do a quick poll.
Well, we only have 4 spots for it, not 5.
Yeah.
So I said mid, so I'm gonna go average. I thought it was an average race. It wasn't anything special. It was better than last year. They didn't look like fools, and that's about after last season with this race. It's about all we could ask.
No,
for.
just Fox Sports they were the only ones who looked like.
But we're
that.
asking about the race
Yeah,
itself.
yes. Yeah.
We can beat this dead horse for another 3 years.
I'd just say it was good.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I was obviously playing pool most of the time during the truck race, but like just listening to the broadcast and just seeing everything, probably the racing quality was average, but the energy was horrible. There was no energy whatsoever. There was like I watched back on a race from 2006, and yeah, obviously the fans do a really good job because everything being packed up, but they did a really good job of just making it very energetic with, you know, the cars going by very loud. The commentators are on top of it. It's just, for this truck race, there was no energy.
It was very sterile.
Yeah, it was just nothing. I can't even say average.
And
I would
honestly,
say below average.
I think it has like a lot to do with it, you know, with the Cup Series having an off week and stuff. So it's just like, just not as much energy. Just wanted to, you know, just get the race done and stuff. But I'd give this race an average rating as well. Very mid.
I don't like that like, and I know we're not using it as an excuse, but some people have of like, oh, there's no cup race, so that's why we can have like no energy with it. It's like we're 3 or 4 races away from the truck playoffs. Like, that should mean something.
Oh no, I agree. Every race should have energy. Yeah, especially.
Well, yeah, but I'm like, if it's what NASCAR wants with all of this playoff stuff and what they
then
want,
they should be hyping it up.
Broadcast,
They need to hype it up.
If it's what the broadcasters, it's on the broadcasters to hype it up. And send the people out there.
Again, that's what I'm saying.
Here's my thing. This was supposed to replace Eldora, right? Remember how much hype Eldora, at least from my standpoint.
I remember,
like,
yeah.
People cared about Eldora, but even like after, like, I feel like there was still a lot more people in the stands.
Yeah.
It felt unique.
Eldora is a track that trucks can actually race on and be halfway decent because it's got banking.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, you go into Knoxville, it's almost like a get-me-over race to the next week. That's how it felt like to me.
And another thing here, a lot of people don't even know where Knoxville is. Most people think it's Knoxville, Tennessee.
No.
So did my aunt.
It's Iowa.
She messaged me, she's like,
that's
Knoxville,
how
Iowa.
people, at least your casual NASCAR fans, know about this. They're like, oh, they're in Knoxville, Tennessee? I didn't know they had a track.
Home of the famous Knoxville Nationals in Knoxville, Iowa, not Tennessee.
So, it's not in Tennessee.
Now,
if it
Dollywood's
was, we'd probably
in
be
Knoxville, right?
Dollywood's in Pigeon Forge.
Oh, Pigeon Forge. Dang
Which
it.
is basically
it's
just
about
outside.
an hour. It's about an hour from Knoxville.
Okay, close enough.
Yeah, but no, the University of Tennessee, that is in Knoxville.
We had to get one in tonight.
Yeah, go balls, right?
So yeah, I guess we can do some super chats for a little bit now. If
Yeah,
you
we
guys
can
wants to
go
do
for
that,
it.
let me
I'll
go
get
to the
to it.
ones that we've already missed.
Yeah, because we don't necessarily even need to time it because, well, we're so early in it. We can probably get the early ones done and good to go.
And
Nice analytics, Danny.
Nice thumbnail.
Yeah.
Let's see what the people are saying now.
It's Danny time.
Stop.
Go look at Danny's thumbnail and you guys will get it on his last video.
Yeah, just see my latest video today, guys. Alright, so the first one come in tonight from our good buddy Jar Jar Binks for $1.99.
Oh no.
Misa here, Danny. Boo, doo-doo head Harvick.
Oh my god.
Getting started early, Jar Jar.
Oh good.
Then Lord Voldemort. What? I gotta open the link.
We'll just say Voldemort. Just say
Wait.
Don't read the rest of
Oh
it.
my
Just
god. I'm
Voldemort.
not you're Lord Voldemort. That's all you're getting. The $1.99, appreciate that. The Dark Lord calls for second in Michigan. Boo KH. Herbert, you all know who Herbert is. $1.99. Jared said I can stay with him during off season.
No.
No.
Herbert with another $1.09. Jarrett, favorite romance novel, also Bouquet H.
All the ones that I haven't read.
George Banks going up $1.99. Appreciate that. What's Yusa's favorite NASCAR romance novel?
What Pandora's box did I open?
You shouldn't have told him about the novels, bro.
Jar Jar Binks, $1.99. Appreciate that. Misa hopes meet. Just trying to say Misa too many times. Misa hopes meet Misa friend Danny at Martinsville. Misa don't know if I'm going to Martinsville, but if I am, say hello. Isaac coming in at $4.99. Appreciate that, Isaac. Just dropping a wave. Can't watch tonight. Got midterm tomorrow. Oh, good luck at that.
Good luck.
Wish me luck. And yes, I have summer school. My life is that pathetic.
Oh, hey, I've been there.
I was about to say, you got a midterm right now?
Hey, I've been there, bro. I've been to summer school. Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah. Isaac coming up again of another $1.99. He said, by the way, take Darian's phone away when a race starts.
You can't take my phone away. No. This is how
He's
I
addicted.
do my job. Yes, I'm
addicted.
addicted. I'm addicted to tweeting.
We've got media access this week, and it's literally his media right there. So
Yeah.
his media is jinxing drivers. So Philip Richards coming in at $5. Appreciate that. I got to watch Elliott climb the fence at my home track in person. My life is now complete.
That's
That is
cool.
good. And,
That's awesome.
And they didn't even show that live. They showed it like for a short second pre-recorded. I thought that was kind of a bad thing too. Bush Brothers fan just giving $1. No comment. Appreciate that. I did say you became a member of DannyB Super Fan, so I appreciate you becoming a member of the channel. Hot Piss coming in at $4.99. Appreciate the $4.99.
3 minutes, by the way.
All right, we'll end on our good friend Hot Piss. Will the NWP crew be at the Indy Road Course or Bristol Playoff this year? If so, I'll see you there. No an Indy Road Course for me, maybe Bristol.
Yeah, well, we'll see for Indy for me, but and Bristol as well.
I gotta go to Bristol. What did I do? Like put it off like 3 years in a row
Yeah,
now?
you put it off for a while.
Yep, you've been waiting for a while. But yeah, that'll do it for a little bit of the super chats, and now it is at the point of the show where we got to thank our first sponsor tonight, Lionel Racing. You can get your official Lionel Racing diecast from LionelRacing.com and your favorite authorized Lionel Racing diecast dealers. We're all here together with some diecast. Jarrett, what do you got here with us?
I got Tony Stewart's 2006 Chevy. And I got this one because the SRX is back, and wow, everyone has the
they all have diecasts that look like ones I own.
I actually was responsible and got my own. But I like this one because this is back when they had the rubber wheels on these, so I think that's pretty cool. And bump draft cam.
We are at the second annual Ally 400, so I've got the car that won the very
really
first
nice.
Ally 400 that Kyle Larson drove, the Valve Lane car. It's the first time I think I'd seen Kyle Larson win a cup race.
They even
in
have the
person.
shredded tires too.
Yeah, I've got the shredded tire on there.
I saw it like 5
cool.
times or something
Oh
last
my
year.
gosh. Unfortunately, though, this race did not have confetti last year, or else this car would have looked a whole lot better, but you can still see some of the race markings on it. And speaking of race versions, he's got a race version.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I think this is the best looking truck in the Truck Series of all time. Matt Crafton. I'm not a fan of yellow, but, like, he makes yellow work. Like, let's be honest here. And also, I took this from Danny's shelf over there, because all my stuff is still down in Miami. So, what was this, Eldora? I think this is Eldora.
It's the only time he won Eldora.
Eldora Race 1. I mean, let's be honest. Like, you're at a truck race. Like, you can find Crafton's truck out on the track
You're
whenever
at a
you
truck
want.
race when you see his truck there.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But, like,
Oh my
the thing
You
is,
know,
it's like...
you're at a truck race
Yes.
in his truck.
I was about to
Expert
say that I stopped
analysis.
myself and I was like, wow, that
Expert
doesn't sound smart at all.
analysis.
But, you know, what I loved about the 90s, or like looking back on it, all the cars were bright and you can like tell who's who. And I think Crafton's truck still does that.
He used
Or,
to
like,
drive
he
the
carries
Menard
that
scheme.
mantle.
He used to drive the purple
Yeah.
Menard scheme like long before that
Yeah.
too.
I feel like just now modern days, like the last one holding the mantle of bright trucks or stock cars, I guess you
And,
could say.
and on the subject of nice schemes, Darian's holding a pretty nice one.
So this is
there.
a nice scheme. The performance wasn't nice that evening, but this is nice. So this is Dale Jr.'s 2009 Darlington scheme. This was a special Mountain
The
Dew
only
scheme.
race where it was just Mountain Dew on the car. I
Yeah,
think.
just Mountain Dew, do on the back, and
Do the do.
do. But yeah, so he ended up finishing what, Jared? Like what, 20th or something like
Oh,
that?
yeah,
27.
bad.
Oh, he
29.
spun out. I
It was
remember
bad.
him spinning out on the
It
front
was like
stretch.
5 laps down.
The year before, they did the Darrell Waltrip throwback, and he
Got a top 5.
come close to winning that
Yeah,
one.
scraped the wall a few times. Yeah, got a P4. But yeah, no, it wasn't good the second time around. But hey, the scheme is nice at least, so
Yeah.
I'll give him that.
But yeah, you can get your favorite diecast at the race this weekend at Nashville Superspeedway. There's a few small vendors that are set up kind of right before the speedway. There's all kinds of diecasts in your favorite driver's merchandise hauler, and you can get it from LionelRacing.com. You can go get the NASCAR finish line at your local Walmart. And yeah, appreciate Lionel Racing for sponsoring the show each and every week.
Thank you.
And oh gosh, guys.
What time is it?
Hold on, guys. I think something's coming up here on my phone. I don't know why it's doing this, but it's
And it's the lightning round on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. How's that sound in person?
Yes.
Jared, what do we have on tap for tonight?
I'm not gonna keep playing the rest of that one.
Yeah, please don't.
No.
So for tonight, well, we got some good, we got some bad. Let's get the bad out of the way first. Rest in peace to Burton Smith, who passed away yesterday at 95 years old. People might disagree here or there with different stuff that he's done or choices made, but still huge pioneer in the sport and should be appreciated as such. Going to kind of some of the more positive stuff, Trackhouse Racing has said there's a 100% chance Suarez is re-signed, which is a nice way of saying we want to re-sign him.
Yeah.
He deserves it.
Kim Kuhn is joining the NBC pit reporter lineup, according to Bob Pockris.
Oh yeah,
just
former
don't send any
Miss
gym,
Sprint Cup.
yeah, no gym photos.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that.
Inside joke, you know.
If you're on Twitter, you
Inside
know.
the gym joke. The future of the Camping World Truck Series deal as a sponsor, well, it's uncertain at the moment, according to Adam Stern. There's been no really agreement with it.
I thought Marcus Lemonis loved us.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and everyone goes after him. Probably wouldn't be the best. Nice is looking at going cup racing at least part-time next year with Carson Hocevar, so that's pretty interesting, especially when they've got Hocevar's tweets that he put out with the next-gen tire.
He was trolling, yeah. Smart.
Kevin Meandering is going to be Kyle Larson's crew chief the next 4 races, so Godspeed to 5 fans. Now, the last regular season race of the Truck Series season is going to be at Pocono this year, and it's being moved from Fox Sports 1 to Big Fox, and it'll be the first Big Fox truck race since October 2020 at Kansas.
I want to see Mike Joy call it just because it's on Fox.
Yeah, why not?
That's a little below his pay grade. Also, speaking of Truck Series racing, the Truck Series Championship is being moved to 10 p.m. Eastern Time that Friday night on Championship weekend in order to accommodate the ARCA West Championship being run earlier in the day. Because
boys, I might be getting up on Saturday and rewatching that one.
It's only 9 o'clock here. It ain't too bad. It's Friday night. Valvoline has extended its deal with Hendrick Motorsports through 2027. They're sponsoring 3 races a year for Kyle Larson, 2 for William Byron, as well as being the official lubricant for Hendrick Motorsports.
So get your lube, guys. And
Lube up. With that. Jeremy Clements is going to be running the Gray Ghost at Pocono. A lot of Pocono news. Very interesting. There's a tire test that's been going on today and yesterday at Martinsville. Started with the dirt underbodies. There's no diffusers, and they're sort of just working from there. We don't really know much. They'll probably say over the weekend how it went. Toyota Sponsor Fire returns this Friday, June 24th. And then, last but not least, Dale Earnhardt Jr. today was running laps at North Wilkesboro, testing a late model. So, getting a little hype right there. But yeah, that's about all we got.
Yes, and once again, that'll do it for this edition of the Lightning Round on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. And now, back to the show.
And we are also brought to you by another good sponsor of the NASCAR Weekly Podcast, our friends at Forney Industries. Get it done with green. Forney offers a full line of welding and plasma cutting machines, metalworking accessories, and more. For do-it-yourselfers all the way to professional metalworkers, Forney has everything that you need for your next project. You can shop Forney's top-of-the-line products at ForneyInd.com. Again, that's ForneyInd.com, or you can shop them at an authorized Forney dealer near you. Thanks again to Forney for taking care of us and sponsoring this week's episode.
Thank you, Forney.
Thank you, guys.
What else we got tonight?
And after that, we've got a little bit of news, and you might be the perfect one to take us down this one right here.
Here we go.
So NASCAR seems all in to return to the Chicago market, but maybe not in the way that we necessarily wanted. How's about some deep dish pizza, and then the nice
Getting shot.
the sounds of gunfire and race cars.
Chirac.
Oh, hey, you know what? 75% of the city is good. That means it's all good, right?
Chirac. It's called Chirac for a reason.
It's called. We called it Chirac in the Midwest.
And we have a perfectly good racetrack just sitting in Juliet.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
where you won't
good
get shot.
one. Yeah,
I don't need to be.
good one.
Or mugged.
I don't need to be joking too much because I'm literally going to Chicago here soon. So.
May God be with your soul.
But hey, I'm going for pizza and Cubs, and I'm leaving. So
There you go.
Don't even go.
That's how much
Watch the
Jared
Cubs
hates
at
it.
home.
Yeah. Yeah, so kind of looking into this real quick with the Chicago street course. Saying the rumor is, from what Adam Stern tweeted, would start next year and would move Road America off the schedule based on what the reports are looking like.
may it rest in peace.
Yeah, and same with Chicagoland, because in the short term at least, Chicagoland won't be coming back. And we can talk a bit about the 4th of July weekend, but I don't like this move. I think I've made it abundantly clear this week.
What?
Yeah,
You don't like this
I
move?
think I made it abundantly clear
thought
I
you
don't
loved
like this
this.
move.
Whoa.
I hate it.
Shock.
I don't like Chicago as a city for it, and even if we take my dislike of Chicago out of it, I don't see the Chicago market being able to support this more than 1 year. Here's the thing about Chicago sports in general, with Chicago sports culture, is they don't care unless you win. So, like, 90% of the time, they don't care about sports.
Yeah.
Because none of the teams win on
So
a regular
after
basis.
D Rose hurt his tore his ACL, they didn't care about.
They were
the
only
Bulls ever
winning for
again.
like three years.
Yeah,
with Rose and
they
them.
never cared about him again.
But Chicago the Chicago sports media, in a lot of ways, is very delusional. I am so glad I'm away
Bears
from
to
all
the
of it.
Super Bowl, to the Super Bowl.
Where did
Yeah.
the Bears actually play? Because they don't play in Soldier Field anymore, do they?
No, they still play in Soldier Field. For
Okay,
now. They're gonna play in Arlington Heights soon, but no, I mean, no one shows up to Bears games anymore. You know, if you look at the Cubs, they showed up during the World Series season, but no one's at Cubs games. I'm a Cubs fan saying this. It's half full. I mean, with a lot of the games.
Hell,
now.
even when the White Sox
so-
are good, nobody.
No one
shows
cares
up.
about the White Sox.
So you mean people ain't showing up for the Bears anymore?
No one's been showing up for a decade now. They showed up 1 year when Mitch Kisser, we'll just say that, got them to a wild card double doink. But no, it is not a market that is going to be a
I
long-term
think-
hold for NASCAR, and I think there's so many better ones they could have went to that would be more open to
Here,
it.
I'll even suggest one of them, and we can each suggest one that we think is a better idea. Formula One just returned to the Canadian Grand Prix for the running there at what is it? Gilles Villeneuve Circuit, I think is
called
what it's
Montreal.
called. Yeah. Basically in Montreal, I think a NASCAR Cup Series race there with these next gen cars would be perfect. Give the Cup Series at least one international race. Sure, you end up losing Road America and stuff, but if you are going to get rid of a special road course such as Road America, then hey, put something big there, right? And I love Montreal.
I agree with what Slapshoe said. He said the worst thing about the street race is that it takes a few years before you start turning a profit. They race once in Chicago, it's totally pointless. They're just burning money at that point.
Yeah.
The only thing I can think with this is it's a big splash deal. It's a big splash deal. Try and get the Chicago market interested, and then be like, hey, we have this better place we can race at. And I don't like the idea of it. And I can make all the jokes in the world and whatnot about it, but the city of Chicago is royally amazing at ruining planning. Their city government is atrociously bad, run by Beetlejuice.
I was about to say the mayor is outspokenly very much a environmentalist. We'll leave it at that.
Totally fits NASCAR. Totally.
So that's
Totally.
why I'm really confused with her in office that they'd even be allowed to do it.
Money.
Yeah.
That's what runs Chicago.
Oh, the other green stuff, not the leaves.
Yeah,
The other green
that
stuff.
money runs Chicago. That's that, so there's unless, like Slav said, if they make this like a thing that lasts a few years, like maybe it'll break even.
If you could pick any other city in America to try this at, where would it be?
Long Beach.
What?
I'm gonna put it right out there. It's only gonna work at one other track. Like I like the idea of a street course. But it's only gonna work at Long Beach.
'Cause
And
they already
even
have
at Long
tradition
Beach,
already.
I still don't even think it will work because NASCAR fans love passing.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get a lot of passing
Not
at
on
a
a
street
street course. No.
You will not. It's literally just gonna be for glitz and glamour. If you want glitz and glamour, might as well just go to Long Beach.
Yeah, street courses are just really for, I guess, like, just for aesthetics and all that stuff. It's like, hey, like
I mean,
big
where-
cities and
where
stuff.
else are they gonna go? Belle Isle?
I guess I'm thinking of places that don't exist right now. You're thinking
Oh,
of something that
okay.
already exists.
Okay.
I'm thinking if we needed to go try this at a market that doesn't have anything already, I would actually say Denver, Colorado.
Yeah,
I think
Denver.
that's a good place in the middle of the country that doesn't ever get this kind of opportunity. I think Denver would be where I would try that.
Or
Denver 420.
to stay, to
Funyuns
stay
420.
to stay in the Pacific Northwest, Seattle. Seattle.
But that goes back to our conversation about Portland, how much money was lost by teams going up there.
Yeah, good point. But
What about Mexico? Like, I know we talked about
That's what they're
international
talking
stuff.
about.
I'd rather them just try to go out there to Mexico City. I mean, I know Formula One heads out there, and you can see how big the
and I
crowd is.
guarantee
I don't
you,
think
they
we'll
will
get
come.
that crowd.
They will come and support Suarez
Yeah.
too. They will come in droves to support their boy.
Yeah, you might as well be ready for the most popular driver there that day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not
I'm
going
gonna
to be
be
Chase
honest.
Elliott there,
Because
for
it was
sure.
pretty crazy at Sonoma alone.
It might be a hot take, but I actually think the Mexico City market could work.
Yes.
Like, it might be a long shot, but
And I'm
I
still
think
very
we
adamant
could
about,
definitely
like,
do it.
race back in Montreal again. Just remember those nationwide races we used to have. I watched that 2010 race where Boris said made the final corner move on Max Pappas. Oh, that was so sweet, man. I miss Montreal.
It'd be impossible to make it work, but something about the aesthetic of a big kind of like pin turn at Times Square in New York City, that would be really cool.
Why not? Hey, go for it, man. Steve Phelps was like, hey, everything's on the table. Hey, if you can make it happen, make it happen. But please, just one street course on the schedule. We don't need multiple, because, again, it's not going to
York. It didn't work the first time.
It's not going to provide the best racing, okay?
It'll be a huge disappointment.
It's not going to provide the best racing, but, I mean, it'll be aesthetically pleasing, though.
I like this idea. Screw it, bring back the Milwaukee Mile.
Yes.
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 doesn't it have lights, too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Historic racetrack. Bring that one back. Like,
Yeah, they had a lot of night races there.
here's the other thing that bothers me, other than just being a street race itself. Road America had well over 100,000 people there last year.
And a lot of young people, too. That's important.
Yeah.
A lot of young
Like,
people.
there's
I've never
actually-
seen that many young people at a race.
Yeah, we got complimented. on
Yeah,
the way
yeah,
out.
we got complimented. yes, by
Yeah.
a few females.
Yeah, but we don't know which one they were talking about, but we know it was one of us.
It was one of us,
Yeah, but
Well, no, really quick. How'd it go? Is like, oh, I think he's cute. No, I think he's cute. It
no,
was
it's his
one of
friend
us.
is.
Yeah.
I'm just like, cool.
Yeah.
We're like,
It's one of
Eric
us.
walked with us. Why are they walking with Sasquatch?
So what you're saying is to hold my wife's hand the whole time.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the race.
But what I'm saying is, like, with that many race fans there, yes, I know the TV audience didn't show up, but there were so many people at Road America who were there at a NASCAR race for the first time because they're loyal to the track itself. It's similar to the culture of Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and you've seen ever since 2008 there's been irreparable damage with the local area of Indianapolis and NASCAR when it comes to just the racing fans. If you go and move a huge Wisconsin icon, again, I'm not some big Wisconsin guy. Screw the Packers.
Wisconsin.
Hate Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
But if you move a huge date for a Wisconsin icon to Chicago, that is the biggest slap in the face for Wisconsin racing
That's
fans.
a slap in the
There's
face.
probably a lot of Minnesota racing fans, Rusty, who were there. And you're moving it to Chicago. Like, it is not understanding the audience in your area. And yes, I know that attendance isn't that big of a deal. I know Road America will be fine without NASCAR. But it feels like, again, a huge, huge disconnect from everything that area has. It feels like a disconnect from what most racing fans want, because racing fans were in a huge uproar about it. And here's the big one again, because it seems like every summer they do their best to make these people the most mad. It's the biggest disconnect for the drivers who want to be at Road America. Road America is one of their favorite tracks.
We saw Corey LaJoy. He was eating cheese curds.
Yeah,
and
we
stuff.
were
He's
eating
like,
cheese
yeah.
curds
He's like,
with
yeah, I love it here.
All of them, like drivers. I think I might have saw 20 drivers between the Xfinity and Cup Series that were tweeting or putting on Instagram or something about this is a horrible idea. Mm-hmm. Nobody wants to go to a street course because they know the racing won't be good. It will be a spectacle. I'm going to say that now. I will fully acknowledge it will be a spectacle. But the racing isn't going to be great. Mark my words. This is what's going to happen because it happens every time and no one gives a damn about the race unless it's the last 5 laps. It's going to be one of the most boring races of the year. Everyone's going to be saying how bad of an idea this was. And then with like 5 to go, there's going to be like a 3-car battle for the lead. 2 of them will take each other out. And the 3rd place car will get the win. And everyone's going to be like, oh, we need more street courses.
It's here to stay for the next 10 years.
It's here to stay. And I hope it's a massive success. Because if it is a big deal for NASCAR to go to a major market like this. But they're behind. I think Eric said in his video this week, it's like they got the sloppy seconds of F1. They're behind. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I could not see Eric.
I'm like,
saying
Eric
that.
said that in a video.
Not on air. No, I'm kidding. No, but it does really feel like they got the last draw. It's like everyone was drawing straws and they got the short straw. They're like, I guess we gotta go to Chicago.
And it's just a shame too, because Chicagoland, it's just sitting there.
Well,
It's right there.
The funniest part is if it is on the 4th of July weekend,
That's
that's
what I
the
was
most
gonna say.
dangerous weekend of the year.
Yeah.
That is when like it goes full on shiny.
Guys, go look at the murder rates for that weekend every year, and you'll
Here's-
see what we're talking about.
Here's
Let's-
Memorial Day
hey,
weekend. They had like I think
let's-
like 150
Yeah.
that were killed there.
Let's not talk about that because I'm literally going there on 4th of July weekend.
Oh.
That's your choice.
Yeah, it's your Danny. That's you.
You could have went in the middle of the boonies and hung out with
You'll
my
be okay.
grandparents
You'll be
up
okay,
in
Danny.
northern Illinois and had fun in the pool.
Here's
Right.
my problem with this. This is the big thing. We have lost our 4th of July tradition. It was
Oh, yeah.
Daytona,
No tradition.
okay, and now we went to Indy, and I remember when they announced Indy, like, oh, this is a new 4th of July tradition. And then all of a
1 year.
sudden, yeah,
One
and then
year.
now Road America, oh, you can't get any more American than this. The track's name's Road America, and they promoted, like, how many people went out there for the camping, how, that's part of 4th of July.
telling
Now
you.
what? Chicago
I'm telling
street
you,
course?
This is how it's going to go 1-2 ways. One, they're going to have a Chicago street course because they need to maximize the market and maximize everything having to do with it. Or 2, and I know you're going to hate this being someone who went to Daytona a lot.
Uh-oh.
They're going to do it to Atlanta.
I think that long-term Atlanta will be the one
my
they do.
God.
Because it's a super speedway. People, whether they're fans or not, watch super speedway racing. And they're going to want to just have absolute carnage on the 4th of July.
And it's going to be ran at
Because,
night. It's probably going to be ran at night.
they're going to want a dumpster fire race. Because, anyway, have you seen America lately? We're in a dumpster fire.
And they're going to run it at night, probably.
They'll probably run a
Yeah.
Sunday night, probably.
Yeah,
Sunday
Sunday
night.
That's horrible. No.
I think that's what's going to happen.
But why is it horrible, though? Why is it
Because
horrible?
the
Explain.
tradition is Daytona. Like,
But
okay.
they're not going to move. The only way they're moving Daytona off of the regular season finale is if they move it to the full-on season
Reject
finale.
tradition,
I
embrace chaos.
cannot do that. I
So
will die on this hill.
Would you suggest that Atlanta would be the new
I will
season?
take Atlanta as the new season finale because listen, all right,
Regular
this is just
season or
regular season.
regular season.
Yeah.
Sorry, regular season.
Yeah, let's decide a championship on that.
Yeah.
time.
no, you don't need
This
that.
is my thing, okay? Tradition in NASCAR is huge. Like, didn't we at one point, take Darlington off of, their Labor Day, and then also we put it back in the Southern 500? I feel like that's brought the spark
rejuvenated.
back. Yeah, my main thing is when, at least growing up, I originated summer with Daytona. Like,
Or you connect
the
those
biggest
two.
race of the year for me was not the 500 and not Homestead. Even when I went all the time back in 9, 10, 11, it was the summer Daytona race. It was the night race where everyone drove a different looking scheme. Tony had Burger King. Kyle Busch was in the wall with his Interstate Batteries car. That was such a big draw for me, including as a young fan. My main thing is it's cool to change things up, but okay, Daytona in August is cool, but I still love that summer 4th of July slot, and that was something big for NASCAR. NASCAR is known for being a very patriotic sport. I think having a tradition on 4th of July is a big deal, and if we continue to move tracks off this slot, there's nothing cool about
I'll
it.
ask you this, though. Even taking out the rain delays, the more people watched at the regular season finale than on the 4th of July. So,
Okay.
What would you say to that?
Just put it Atlanta. I still don't care. This is on a personal note for me, too.
Yeah, see,
Think rationally, not
Yeah.
like the rest of us would be thinking here. Because I'm agree with you. I want it on the 4th. But I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. I'm gonna be a throwback to myself here. Tell me a reason why they shouldn't just leave it there.
Well, here's another thing too. I mean, in August, most schools in Florida are back, 100%, like all the way back in. When you're in that July slot, most of the people have time off, at least for the younger crowd. College isn't back. Because remember, when I went the first time in August, right after that race, I had stuff to do. I had to go ahead and send papers in right away.
That's right.
And my main thing is, if you want people to have a good time all the way through, at least for Daytona standards, I think it should still be in July, because you don't want to go to a race and then have something to do basically the next day, at least as a younger fan, at least on my end. Because I remember I went to Daytona, go to the beach, you go home, you enjoy your summer. At least for me, it was, we got back, I got to send papers in, and I got to go check syllabuses and stuff.
But I get that for like the at-track experience, but in general, though, it has been a net gain. As much as I love the tradition part, and I want it back, personally, it has been a net gain. And I think this ties into Chicago here. I mean, the Chicago race is going to bring in numbers. They're probably going to have a big NBC or Fox, whichever it lands on.
Probably going to get
NBC.
Probably going to get some help from Michael Jordan to help promote it. Or
Oh,
whatever, maybe.
definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Michael
Well,
Jordan
it
is
will
one
be
of
a net gain for
Michael Jordan and Mike Ditka are like the two
Yeah.
gods sports-wise of that,
They're gonna
along
get
with the
him to promote
2016 Cubs.
They'll find a way to have Bubba in like a Chicago Bulls fame car.
Probably.
Which will probably be good for Chicago because they'll probably embrace him more than most places would. Maybe, let's have that at Talladega. Let's see how it goes. Well, no. Let's have Bubba in an Alabama Crimson Tide car at
Oh,
Talladega.
God. Oh,
Let's see how it
Well,
goes.
he
But
would not do that because he's a huge Tennessee Vols fan.
Yeah. Right.
my main
embrace the
thing.
troll, but-
My main thing is these ideas are great, but how will they work long term?
So the Daytona one, I get. I mean, I
don't see
that.
them changing it. I would just
Yeah,
rather
I
personally
can
still
see-
have it in July.
Yeah, and I can see that turning it. But with the Chicago one, I get. My idea is that they're doing that to try and raise up some awareness in the area, and then at that point, they try and go back to Chicagoland. Like, that would be my guess here, is they try and go back to Chicagoland after the fact. We've seen by the pictures that Google Earth has had of it, it's still in race-ready condition. So I think that could be the long-term play here. I mean, they haven't sold it. It's been in the plans not to sell it, so I think that could be. If not, you'd have to probably race at Chicago for like 5 or 6 years.
Let me ask this really quick. How many times has the 4th of July date changed since they've left Daytona? Like,
Indianapolis, then Road America, then whatever the next one is.
see,
Three.
that whole
Three
mystique.
times in 4 years.
See, yeah, 3 times in 4 years when we were told, like, okay, we're just going to stay at one place, blah, blah, blah.
I'd be cool with Indy.
Look, that whole mystique of, like, hey, it's 4th of July weekend for NASCAR, it's gone now because they keep switching it up and stuff. It's like, look, yeah, me personally, growing up with Daytona 4th of July weekend, I'd rather have that personally. But if you are going to switch it, please keep it there for a while. So when they finally settled on Road America, I was like, okay, all right, this is perfect. But now all of a sudden, it's about to be
Well,
off
I
the
can
schedule
get
again.
moving Road America because road course ratings are always lower.
Yeah.
Like, I can get that, but it's like...
But for a street course, no. I don't know.
Just give us a new tradition. I would say that's all I'm going to say.
So to go back to the Chicago part of this, Douglas Serrano said everyone wants Chicagoland back, but why not Kentucky? A few reasons. One, Chicagoland is in that bigger market that we're trying to go to. Chicago. I mean, I guess Kentucky was close to the Cincinnati market, but not that close.
But Chicago is a market compared to Cincinnati. And listen, when I was at Cincinnati for the Vikings game last year, it was really cool to be there. It was a really nice city, at least at that part of it.
Yeah.
But it's not Chicago. I was able to drive out of there without being stuck in traffic. You can't say that about Chicago. And then Chicagoland just races better than Kentucky does.
Yeah, they're two totally different tracks.
The only memorable thing Kentucky had in its years that it had a cup race was someone's car was on fire in the parking
Well,
lot.
they had that good finish at the end. They had the last
Yeah.
2 races that had good finishes, but that
Yeah.
was all there was.
That's
And
about
people
it.
say that about Chicagoland, but the racing itself, if you watch the races, was
way
better.
better. Yeah.
It was way better. So with the street course, what is your end game? That's what I want to know. What is the end game? And
They
it's
want
like,
to race in a big city, a big market like that.
I feel like they're trying to make big splash moves, because if you look at races that are comparable this year, like with FS1, they're all down in ratings. But if you look at the big splash moves, they've raised the overall ratings up a bunch. So like, do you just make big enough splash moves until people stick around? Do you do that so that you get a better TV contract? Like, which I think that's probably a big reason too. But I don't think it's the right city to do it in. I think New York would be a better city to do it in. I think Miami would be better to do it in.
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know about that one.
I mean, how many people are going to show up to Homestead without being the finale?
Yeah, well, let's be honest. Who's going to show up to a Miami street course NASCAR race?
I'm just saying.
F1 probably would have been the first guinea pig test.
Just don't charge $1,000.
Yeah, just don't charge 1,000.
I'm going to be honest. I
divide by
cannot
10.
see Miami working with the NASCAR market unless it is
What about
either
Las
Homestead or
Vegas?
nothing.
I wouldn't
Las
know.
Vegas street course at night?
The problem is Las Vegas, like SMI, like Las Vegas Motor Speedway, that's their baby, man. Like they have so many events and stuff, so they would have to work.
I bet
something out
Texas
with them.
Motor Speedway was SMI's baby for a long time too, and they still managed to make a deal out with Coda.
Yeah. So they would have to work out a deal, but yeah, we'll see how the F1 race street course goes first, I guess.
That's my big question. Is like, what is the end game for this? Because it feels like they're just shooting stuff at the wall and hoping it sticks.
My main thing is you just at least need some type of tradition there for 4th of July. I would love Homestead. No, not Homestead. Sorry. Whoa, definitely not.
Whoa.
I would love
There you
Daytona,
go.
personally. Now, still die on that hill, but you have to have something. And if you want to have the Brickyard 400 come back, I would say just hold it there and do not move it anymore. Because the Indy 500 is relevant with Memorial Day weekend. If we're talking about patriotism, you want to have I would guess you'd say a very patriotic and historic track, the Brickyard would probably be the next bet, but you cannot be moving it around this much because all of a sudden it loses that big value.
Because it was a big draw, and the 4th of July weekend is a big draw.
It's the only reason why I went.
Yeah, it's a big draw on TV too. So I don't really have any more to add on it. It's just
we'll see what happens.
I'm not going. I'm not going to a Chicago street course. I can tell you that. I've been in Chicago enough. I don't want to go again.
Well,
I realized something. You have the same exact motive I have to Miami. Because when you mentioned Miami, I was like, oh no. Like, Chicago Street Course,
better than I do.
I may only go just because it might look cool. But to you, it's like, oh no. Like, for me, Miami Street Course is like...
You better have more than just the drink of body armor.
It's like, what's the point? I have a track over here. And same for you with Juliet, with the Chicagoland Speedway.
Juliet?
Yeah, I just call it Juliet. I mean, it's in Juliet. I mean, it's right over there with Homestead. And
did I got to pass Romeo to get there?
I don't know. I've never been to Illinois, so...
Yeah, ain't that special.
I will say this. Only recently I discovered the former Chicago Motor Speedway that used to exist.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how short that place lasted. Broke ground in 97, closed in 2003.
Yeah, demolished and
How
everything.
sad is that?
It's a Walmart now, I heard.
That's like emblematic of Illinois.
Well, moving on, there's a look at what might be coming for the future of NASCAR, but NASCAR apparently does feel optimistic about their future. Ratings are up, attendance is up, the competition has been good. We've seen so many diverse number of winners this year, and the schedule is a lot more diverse. So, I think I kind of agree with them that it does look bright right now for NASCAR in a way.
I'd say in some ways, I think it's just with what we're dealing with right now with the economy, I don't know how long this attendance boom is going to last.
Because right now it's looking hard for me, and granted, being transparent a little bit, when I have media access, that helps me be able to afford a lot more weekends currently, because it gets us into the track more where I only have to worry about my travel and my cost of driving, my cost of place to stay. But even then, that's getting me to a point where I just can't justify it anymore. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel.
I think it's that way for me too. Just when it comes to going further out to different races, but I'm just thinking of the average person. It's like, because at least we can have at times the option of getting in at certain places, whereas like the average person, they don't get that.
Yeah, it's even harder.
So I worry about the attendance, but the attendance of all four of those is probably the least important, as much as it is the optically biggest thing we'll see. Ratings wise, I don't know. It's like yes, they were up, But a lot of that had to do with the Daytona 500 not being rained out.
That's true.
A lot of that had to do with the fact they had a big splash event with Atlanta. A lot of that had to do with the fact that, you know, when you look at some of the races from 21 and all of 2020, they were COVID affected.
And also, didn't the LA Coliseum race kind of build up some hype a little bit?
A little bit, but
Yeah.
the Daytona 500 was the lowest non-rained out
And-
Daytona 500 ever.
In a way, also, I think the momentum is key kind of factors in this, and the fact that we've had our only off-season of the year. Like, every other week, there's NASCAR on. There's always
Yeah.
Cup Series on.
That does help, and I think that's as much as people in the industry don't want to do that, it helps with
The
the
fact
TV
that the
side
Cup
of things.
Series races every week.
Yeah,
that
because
helps.
NASCAR fans, if you look at ratings-wise, are creatures of habit. If there's always NASCAR, they'll continuously tune
watch
in.
it.
As soon as there's a week off, there's a dip.
They think the season's over.
I won't go at first, just that they just when there's so much
They're not as
cable
inclined
races
even-
at that point.
Even, like,
No, I'm saying.
my mom doesn't have cable. She just can get local channels.
Mhm.
So when the race isn't on a local channel, she just doesn't even look at it at all.
And you see that, I mean, even when you take out the Daytona 500, Fox races were up this year where FS1 was down immensely. So I think ratings-wise, if they can continuously get some more, because this year has more Fox and NBC races than any year in this contract so far, if they can keep on that trend, I'd be optimistic too. Competition-wise, I think if nothing changes, which again, there's going to be different things to change, people are going to figure more things out, but right now the competition is top-notch. Fix the short tracks.
How many different winners have we had so far this year? 12, right?
12.
12.
Yeah.
So, I
Yeah.
mean, do you think we potentially reach 16? Or
I'm sick
Yes.
of no.
Yeah,
I'm going for
I'm
it.
gonna
Yes,
stick with
I
no
want to see it
personally.
so
I think-
badly.
I think
I
I, want
want
to see
it.
it
I
bad,
want
but
it
I
to
don't
happen.
I don't know if it'll happen.
I think I'll say no just so I can be surprised and happy.
I think we'll get like 14 different winners, but I mean, again, I can see why so many people think like, oh, we'll potentially get 16 winners because who hasn't won yet? Ryan Blaney hasn't won
Martin
yet.
Truex Jr.,
Yeah, Martin Truex
Christopher
Jr.,
Bell,
Kevin
Kevin
Harvick,
Harvick.
Tyler Reddick. You know,
Eric Jones.
Eric
you could probably
Jones.
throw in that
There is
mix.
some. There is
Who
some.
else
Eric
on the
Almirola.
plate tracks?
Yeah, Eric. Did you say Eric?
Eric
Yeah,
Almirola.
Eric Almirola, of course.
At this point, Michael McDowell, he showed a
Yeah.
few races.
Yeah.
He's got a chance.
So I could see why people are like so excited, like, hey, we might have 16 winners here. Me personally, I don't think so, but I would love
I
to be
think we have
proven
14,
wrong.
maybe 15,
Yeah.
but I'd love to be proven
I would love
wrong.
to see like
It-
a
break
winner
the
knocked out.
system.
Yes, yes.
Well, even then, yeah, we've had 3 guys that have won 2 races, but at the same time, we're this far in. We've only had 3 guys that have won 2 races.
Yeah.
I still do not see a single guy yet on the schedule where I think that they're at this point last year coming into Nashville. It was becoming apparent that
It was-
going to be hard to beat this
It was
guy.
gonna- it was
I
becoming
don't
the Kyle
see
Larson
a
show.
guy who's like Kyle Larson this year yet.
No, there's no one who's consistently top 5 up front enough. We could argue Ross Chastain. You could argue Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott. You know, you could argue that Alex Bowman's consistent enough, but he doesn't lead laps. So
The closest one there is Chastain, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I'm not quite ready to trust Trackhouse that
Nope.
much.
But also,
Nope,
like, there's
not at all.
some of these drivers with multiple wins I don't trust neither. Like William Byron, yes, he has 2 wins.
He has
but
4 top 10s.
Yeah, 4
Yeah,
top 10s.
I
in
was
16
so
races.
impressed at the beginning of the year. I was thinking, oh yeah, he's really got it together.
But after
where's
after,
it been?
After he got
Where's
those
it
2
been?
you
wins,
realize
that was it.
that you realize with this many top 10s and top 5s, William Byron's on track to have 9 top 10s this year.
Yeah.
At this rate.
Him and Alex Bowman literally traded spots this
They
year.
did.
Mhm. Yeah,
They did.
now he's really consistent. He stepped it up.
I think
Well, he's
he's
consistently 3rd to 7th.
Mm-hmm.
he's like either tied of Chase or he's below Chase in the most top 10 this year.
He's
with
in that
Hendrick.
he's in that position that like he can capitalize and get wins, the same way that that Byron has been this year. Byron's had speed; they just can't close the darn thing out.
Yeah.
So, I would say competition wise, that's where I'm like, yeah, I would feel really good. I think we're at that like tipping point too of old and new. I mean, what older drivers are left right now? Old, I would say. So long tenured drivers are left out there that you would say are consistently competitive. Because I wouldn't count Joey Logano because he's still pretty young.
Yeah.
What, Kyle Busch?
I wouldn't even say Brad or Harvick even like close in that list anymore.
I would say Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin.
Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin, I'd say.
I want to go with Denny, but it's like Denny either is win or bust. That's it.
Well, actually, no, you're right.
Like,
You're right.
So then just Kyle Busch?
I feel like if Denny's team can pull it together, I would put Denny in there. I wouldn't say Martin Truex Jr. He's not consistent enough anymore. Kevin Harvick, I think, is getting held back by his team more than age. Like I really think that.
We won't get into, but there's outside factors too. I think it's holding them there right now.
Yeah, so I think you're really seeing the younger generation take over. I mean, if this ends up being how it's going to be, and that's how close they all are. If you look at all the young drivers, like outside of Kyle Larson, talent-wise, I don't see a driver that pulls away. But Kyle Larson right now is performing how he did at Ganassi in his best years there.
And without his primary crew chief for a while, it's going to be a bad few weeks, I think.
But no, watch me say that, and he's going to win this week.
Probably.
But dude,
that'll happen.
That's a huge credit to the next gen car. It's doing what it was supposed to do early on, provide parity.
That is true.
This is one of the most exciting seasons in recent NASCAR history.
I'm telling you right now, New Hampshire is going to be one of the most important races of the year to watch because whoever performs well there is going to perform well at Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
You're happy.
Yeah, of course he's happy because
your guy has to make it to Phoenix.
Oh, yeah.
Your guy has to make the playoffs.
We're looking forward to New Hampshire. I am ready for that race.
I will say he did exactly what he needed to at Gateway. He's got a chance.
Oh, I know he does.
He had some
I've
help,
never
though.
looked forward to flat tracks ever as a NASCAR fan until last year.
But you also have to remember.
I had never enjoyed Pocono too much until 2014. So.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I love
You also
Pocono
have
in
to
2012.
You have to remember though, Eric Almirola did get some help from the tinted windows because
Hey.
not
And
for the
14.
tinted windows.
But 2012 he was good there,
2018.
too.
No. Last year, remember the tinted
Oh,
windows?
yeah.
For New Hampshire. Remember?
It got very dark out there.
It's like looking at my neighbor here. I can't see my neighbor's house.
Oh yeah.
I think NASCAR made the right call, and I'll always stand
Of
by
course,
that.
of course you say
Including
that.
in the 2008 Talladega race, Tony Stewart did everything he needed to do. Biased Tony Stewart fan.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Get out of here, Discount Eric.
Okay.
So, moving on, I think NASCAR's in a good spot, and he's getting biased. So we're getting close to the point where we can be a little biased.
NASCAR's at a point, in my opinion, where it's at a stable point.
Mm-hmm.
They got to build on it.
Mhm.
That's been my big thing. I've been harping on now for a year and a half. Is build on this. You have I won't say this is rock bottom. You have a stable, steady point. What are you gonna do with that? And maybe Chicago Street Course is that. Maybe Atlanta Superspeedway. Maybe some of these big splash moves they're making could be that thing. But I would say it's in a pretty good spot right now. I think that they're not going to go up until the next TV deal comes along. They got to be innovative.
Yeah.
I mean, Steve Phelps wants to be innovative. Be innovative with your partners.
Absolutely.
And plus, NASCAR finally got to the area where they've been trying to get to for so long. I mean, remember the big three? I mean, they weren't the young drivers. NASCAR always wanted the young drivers to come up because they'll
had the
entice
whole-
the younger
I
fans.
just-
They had the whole ad thing going there.
I just gotta be honest with y'all. The big three in 2018. Looking back on that was rough to keep watching over and over.
That was probably the worst year to start this show on.
Yeah, it was, man. Oh, it was nuts.
But no, I mean, I would tentatively agree. I think there's some problems that they're not obviously gonna be like, yeah, we know our attendance is great right now. It's gonna suck because of the economy. Like they're not gonna say that,
No.
and maybe it won't. It seems like the energy at the track has been higher this year than previous years, so maybe it'll stay up. I would say I 75% agree with that. I think there's some things to need to look at, but if you're looking at NASCAR now versus NASCAR pre-Watkins Glen 2018, I think it's in a better place.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what you just said.
I mean, heck, the
Thanks,
2017
Brian
500 didn't even sell out. And now, if you look at I want to point this out. People are telling me that 2023 500 is getting, pretty close there. I kind of looked at where the tickets are. Certain sections are already filling out pretty well.
Nice.
Nice, man.
So
Nice.
Awesome.
I think it's a good spot to close off on how the good stuff.
yeah.
See, we can be positive.
Now, speaking of some more positive.
I've seen someone say that since Eric wasn't here, we were all pessimistic today, but
We're not pessimistic.
I think we're just about the same.
We're not pessimistic. We're realistic.
Speaking of which, I've seen a bunch of people asking, where is Eric? If we haven't told you already, Eric's just traveling. He is coming to Nashville this weekend, so that's a good segue into talking about the races at Nashville Superspeedway, our home track.
Our home
My
track
adoptive
now.
home track.
But really quick, before we talk about it, we also have something else that is Nashville related. We do have IDK.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Kind of
right.
talk about
The
that really
fairgrounds.
quick, though, IDK.
So we, Darian and I, have a partnership with the Nashville Fairgrounds to host a virtual event with the NASCAR Xfinity Series stock cars called the All-American 600.
Yes, and not 600 miles,
600 laps.
Laps, yes, 600
And
laps.
another cool thing we announced this week, me, Darian, and IDK are going to be hosting an iRacing league next year on all three of our channels, the NR Cup Series.
Yep.
So we'll announce more about that later, but just keep that in everybody's mind. If you're interested, go to IDK Player's Discord.
Yes, and also go subscribe to IDK Player.
NASCAR's moving forward. We're moving forward. Everything's just
Yeah.
changing. There's
Keep
always something to look
moving.
forward to.
Yes, everything's moving forward.
So
but
our
yes.
stuff is July 1st at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and more will definitely be coming soon. Like the
Yes.
schedule.
Yeah,
The schedule will be coming out soon.
Go
We got
follow
some
me,
good stuff.
IDK. Go follow the Nashville Fairgrounds on Twitter as well for more updates. But yeah, so let's move on to this weekend's race.
So, this weekend we have the Truck Series, Xfinity Series, and Cup Series racing in Nashville, and then our good friends at the SRX that's racing up at South Boston Speedway. The Truck Series is the Rackley Roofing 200. This will be a 150-lap race starting at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, 7 o'clock Central Time here in Nashville. The race will be on FS1. You can get radio coverage on MRN. As far as the weather goes, originally it was looking really, really hot for this week and weekend. It's actually not as bad as it was last week. I think all these guys can agree on that.
Last week was fun to run in.
It's not as bad this week. I think the humidity's a little lower. It's not as hot this week. But for Friday, we have a high temperature of 92 degrees, mostly sunny, only a 1% chance of rain. The defending winner of this race is Ryan Preece, who will be racing again this weekend, driving the 17 Hunt Brothers Pizza Ford. The Xfinity Series race is the Tennessee Lottery 250.
Look right behind IDK Player's shoulder at the logo
Yep.
there.
Yep.
There it
And
is.
now we blocked it.
Oh, I blocked it. There you go.
And this will be a 188-lap race. The start time for this one is 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 2:30 p.m. Central Time out here. You can catch this one on the USA Network. First time saying that. And radio coverage on MRN. Weather for Saturday is a high of 95 degrees, partly sunny skies, and very hot, a little bit more humidity that day. 25% chance of rain. The defending winner of this race is not racing with us, as that was Kyle Busch. He will not be in this one. The SRX event is at South Boston Speedway. Start time for that is 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time on CBS. Weather for that one is looking pretty good. 88 degrees Fahrenheit, partly sunny, and 8% chance of rain. And then on Sunday, we have the Ally 400. This is a 300-lap event. Start time for this one is 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, 4 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Coverage will be on NBC, radio coverage on MRN. And as far as the weather for this one...
Wait a minute. Is this at the one of the 5 F1 tracks in Nashville?
Actually, I think this is our 6th one. They just opened this one.
Yes!
So, welcome to Nashville Superspeedway for the second annual Ally 400. However, weather for this one is a factor. The high on Sunday is 96 degrees, and we have a 58% chance of afternoon thunderstorms.
Might have to race on a Monday.
The move to race this one towards the later part of the day might come back to bite us in the butt. But with Tennessee storms in the summertime, though, they're usually more scattered, more broken up. They're not really huge storms. The track has lights. So
It does, Bob?
It does have
it
lights.
does. So we might be seeing this one become a night race on Sunday. I would personally hope it does, because if it's on Monday, I can't be at it. Even though it's right down the road from me, I will be unable to be there Monday if the race happens then. And, the defending winner of that one is Kyle Larson. Darian, that's a look back at the past. Who are some of the favorites for this weekend?
Yes, this week's favorites for this weekend's Ally 400.+Obviously, last year's race winner, Kyle Larson, enters this weekend as the pre-weekend favorite at plus 450 odds, and then second is Kyle Busch at plus 750. Third is Ross Chastain at plus 800, tied with Chase Elliott. And in fifth is Denny Hamlin at plus 1,000. As for the best of the rest, we have William Byron, Martin Truex Jr., Ryan Blaney, and Joey Logano, all four of them tied at plus 1,200, followed by Tyler Reddick at plus 1,500. And now for the underdog segment.
My favorite part. This
Yes,
is where you get your money.
Yes. You can make some money on this segment. And speaking of favorite drivers, of course, Eric Almirola is one of the top underdog favorites
The GOAT.
at plus I'm not saying the GOAT at plus 4,000.
The
No, he's the
They're gonna treat you the same way they treat me with Alex Bowman, so don't worry about it.
Oh, I already know.
Hey, at least doesn't Alex Bowman have more career wins?
Oh, wait, at least Alex Bowman's locked
He's
in the
never won at New
playoffs.
Hampshire.
Oh, okay. And then
They'd shut that place down if he won.
yeah. And then in second in the underdogs part, Austin Cindric enters this weekend at plus 5,000, followed by Ricky Stenhouse Jr. plus 6,000, tied with Austin Dillon, and finally the longest underdog on this segment, Eric Jones at plus 8,000.
And we don't really have to look at the fantasy league this week because
Yep,
they
same
didn't have a
points.
race.
Yeah, we didn't have a race. Same point.
Yeah.
So, but just a reminder though, the chat is in the lead at 200 with 285 points, followed by Eric, just -1. And then I'm in third, minus 33.
Come closer to us. One of us. One of us.
And-
One of us.
And me and Jarrett are literally tied for the end, so we're right beside each other. Hey,
Because
minus
last
59.
week, who got bonus points for last week's races? Like, didn't you say like
None of
for-
us.
Oh, none of us got
We
anything.
didn't
No,
pick- no one picked Castronova.
Oh, wow.
I think I had maybe the best truck pick, and that's how I gained a spot on him, I think.
Okay, okay. But yeah, those are the points.
So yeah.
And he's a guest, so obviously he's not gonna count and stuff. But
But he
he's
could
basically-
steal points. He
He's
could
an
still be
Xfinity.
points.
Yeah, he's a Cup Series leech basically. Let's just put it that way.
Part-timer.
Eric gave
You
me
are
his
you are
pick,
an
so I'll
NR
let you know.
leech.
Yeah, yeah.
There we go.
Part timer. That's even better actually.
Yeah,
Starting
Eric
part.
gave me his pick, so I'll read those off because we would have picked first. But so what do you say? Why don't we get right into the Truck Series and go into those picks?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Truck Series.
So Eric has Zane Smith as his pick. Wait, I think that's the right Smith he had. There's multiple Smiths.
I think it was Zane Smith.
Uh,
Wait a second. Let me go
yes,
ahead and observe
Zane
this.
Smith.
All right,
So, yes, that's his. Who you got, Darian?
Zane Smith as well. Yeah, I agree, Eric. I'm with you.
So every race that I've been
I
to
got
that
it.
this guy's been racing in the Truck Series, he's won so far. And I'm going to say Corey Heim wins at Nashville and probably makes Chandler Smith really mad too in the process.
He has a knack for doing that.
Well, I had my picks picked out well before we did any of this, so I'm not copying when I say Zane Smith is my pick too.
So I'm the only different one.
So far.
And I'm seeing a lot of Zane Smith for the...
You ready?
Who you got?
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to go with Crafton.
Oh,
I'm going to go with
okay.
Crafton.
God.
He's been staring at this too long.
I know.
Yeah.
It was kind of like foreshadowing. There's another reason why I picked that, but I don't know, man. It's just something about Crafton. I don't know why every time I go to a race, like he's always up front in some area. I mean, Homestead 2019.
Yeah,
It's
system.
very-
I've seen him win championships.
It's very
so.
clear Zane Smith
Zane
is the
Smith
chat
is the
pick.
chat's pick. Yeah.
Hey, I won't lose points on the chat this week in the trucks.
So 4 Zane Smith picks, followed by just 2 other picks.
Yep.
Well, if we go to Xfinity, Eric has Tyler Reddick as his pick.
That's pretty good. It's a local race for them.
You know, yes, I know it's a local race. I know he's won with them, but I'm gonna go with Ty Gibbs this weekend. I'd say he gets the W.
I'm going to go with the guy who he had a chance in this one last year, and the crowd is going to love him to death because he's right here from Hendersonville. Josh Berry going for the hometown win.
Ditto. I'm picking Barry too. He was really, really strong last year. If I'm not mistaken, he was like spun out when running second
Yes,
or something.
yes.
And had the fastest car. So I'm gonna go with Barry.
If Kyle Busch hadn't been there, Berry would have won that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm going to go for the greatest Daytona 500 champion ever. Okay, this is God himself, Trevor Bayne. No one's
God
talking about Trevor
himself.
Bayne racing this weekend.
God
That is
himself.
the greatest
He-
driver to ever walk the earth
And
in
he,
Xfinity.
and he has raced at Nashville Superspeedway a lot.
Yeah, he has.
Who's the chat guy?
I really can't tell too much.
I
I'm
see a lot
thinking
of
it's Reddick.
I see a lot of
Yeah,
red.
if it's 48.
Come on, everyone's got to vote Bayne. Come on.
I'm seeing a lot of 8s too.
Might have to do a poll, perhaps.
Poll.
Answer me.
So it looks like Tyler Reddick and Josh Berry. For the
Well,
pick.
while he's doing that one, we're going to go to the one we can get 4 bonus points on if we pick the right winner on. That is the SRX. And for the SRX race this week, Eric has Ryan No Neck Newman.
And I'm going to go with Tony Stewart instead to win that race.
I'm going with Newman.
Newman?
He just
Alright.
feels right.
I am gonna go.
He feels right. What do you mean by that? What do you mean? Feels right.
You're the one who went too far, like Eric from last year.
I know. I'm a little down bad tonight.
It just seems like he's gonna win. Chill.
So, I'm gonna go with the guy who, when I was reading up, has absolutely dominated South Boston Speedway. I'm gonna go with the local guy, Peyton Sellers. This week is my pick.
Yes, that's a good one.
And IDK.
I'm going for Tony Stewart. I've been rooting him for my whole life. I'm not going to change.
One of the most biased picks of anyone is going to be IDK every time it comes on.
At least he's straight.
Hey, at least I'm honest. I'm different. I'm always different on my stuff.
Going back to the Xfinity Series, I'm glad that I put the pole because at first I thought it was a 48, but the 8 is pulling away in this so far.
Well, I think we'll give it to give him Barry. How about that?
I'm seeing a lot of Newman. I think they're going with Newman.
The Tony Stewart fan said Tony Stewart. See, I'm not the only one.
So they're going Newman, so they don't lose anything to Eric. All right.
Yeah.
Now we're at Cup.
Give him Newman for SRX.
Right. And is the poll over with? I'm assuming.
Yes.
So so Josh Berry it is.
Who's gonna suck?
All right.
Who's gonna suck this week? Eric didn't give me a suck or dark horse. So, Darian. Who's gonna suck?
I go first. This has been my go-to. Cole Custer, of course. I'm sorry. It's just it's been a bad season for that team.
Yeah.
Bradley Keselowski.
I am gonna go with Harrison Burton. That he's just best finish of 11th this year. Hasn't been all that good. I mean, he's making Matt DiBenedetto look really good. I know DiBenedetto is a fine driver in and of himself. He is not somebody who should be running laps around you. So I'm going to go Harrison Burton, unfortunately.
I'm going to be honest. I'm not optimistic about Truex at all anymore. Like, I love Martin Truex Jr. I love his story. I love like how he even got to the Cup Series. But, I just feel like time's running out. I just don't think he's going to do well this weekend.
Yeah. Who do we got in the chat?
Kurt Angle suck.
Yep.
You suck.
Okay, MVR, to stop saying Kurt Angle.
Let's see. Oh, I see a lot of 41s, a couple of 23s. Quinn Houff doesn't even race in the Cup Series anymore.
He don't even race in anything anymore.
He races that couch.
I'm seeing Cole Custer. Well, one of them said Custer the Buster, so just give him Cole Custer. I see way more 41s.
I mean, he's performed better if we're gonna get him out of this basement.
Sorry. All right, underdogs?
Underdogs, Jarian. Who you got?
Okay. Well, he's coming off of a victory, and yes, he's locked into the playoffs, but, I still want to see a little bit more consistency out of him, so I'm still going to categorize him as an underdog. Daniel Suarez, let's see, now that he has the win, is he going to take the gas off, or is the consistency going to improve? We'll find out.
This is the home race for Tootsie's, who is on his
very
car,
important weekend, so Daniel Suarez. My underdog pick.
A couple weeks ago, Kansas was great for this team, and this might be a similar track. I'm going to say Bubba Dub, Bubba Wallace.
That's the first
I've just been wanting to say his name like that for some reason. Bubba Dub.
So I'm going to go with a guy who wasn't at this team last year, but this team performed at this track relatively well. I think that Brad Keselowski is an underdog this week. So I'm going to BK.
Okay.
I'm going to be honest. I think Eric Jones. I'm going to go with Eric Jones.
That's a good pick.
Because, if you look at it when he's not wrecking late, he's
running
still
up front.
pretty good.
He is.
Including for
he's not wrecking.
Yeah.
If you take away a couple of those wrecks earlier in the season, he might potentially be in on points right now. So.
Okay. What we got with the chat?
I see a few 99s, some 43s.
Again, this isn't for points, so we don't really have to care.
Bubba Dub Dub, of course. What a nickname.
Hey, it comes off the tongue, though.
Yeah, I'm seeing 8s.
Yeah.
Hey, Tony Stewart fan picked Eric Almirola, so you're influencing him a little bit.
Bingo. The chat knows well.
There's a few. Delivers even said Jones.
Yeah. Just give him Eric Jones, it looks like.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll just give y'all Eric Jones.
I really didn't say any clear favor, but sure, go with that.
It's not for points anyways, guys. But all right, so now we are at that segment of the show where we find out who's gonna win. Who's gonna win at Nashville this weekend?
Well, Eric did give me a Cup win pick for this one, and I think he's going to be very popular for all of you out there. It is Chase Elliott is his pick.
Chase Elliott. All right. So this guy I'm about to pick, he's been on. Can you scroll all the way down really quick? Just scroll to that part so I can see the current point standings. Okay. So Out of all of the non-winners, he's currently at the top right now. If you look at the regular season standings, he has been absolutely consistent, but just doesn't get enough credit because he has yet to win outside of the All-Star race, of course. Yes, that's right, Ryan Blaney. I think he will be the 13th different winner this season.
All right, this is a big week for him. Please don't smash the guitar again. You've got a movie premiering this week, Kyle Busch.
Doesn't it premiere tomorrow?
Premieres tomorrow, and it'll be out in
you'll be
theaters
there.
next week. Yes, I will be at the premiere of Kyle Busch's documentary. It's like a documentary made called Rowdy, I think that's what it's called. It'll be in theaters next week. You can actually go online, still buy a ticket. It'll be a one-night only kind of thing, but I'll be part of the media group there to see the premiere for it. So stay tuned to the channel. I'll have some stuff from that.
This guy last year had a hard charge at the end of the race, was the fastest car on the track, not Kyle Larson, but he was faster than Kyle Larson last year, and he was in worse equipment in that 42 Chevrolet. I'm going to go with Ross Chastain as my win pick this year.
I went with Kyle Busch, but I went with the smashing guitars rather than smashing watermelons.
Yeah.
Now we just need smashing pumpkins.
Listen, you need to look at the stats here, okay? I'm going to be
The
honest.
only pole winner ever at Nashville, I know.
I was going to say that, but I'm actually going to go with Ross Chastain, the other
Oh!
Floridian. Yeah. I actually want to get some points.
Florida,
so
man.
I'm looking at this right now. +7 on 16 kind of scares me. So we still need a top 5 for Eric, or a top 10, or a top 15. Just don't crash. But at the end of the day, I actually think Ross Chastain's got a really good shot.
I like how you. So you're the one who's supposed to steal points from us, but you're going with his pick too.
I'm sorry.
One of
Like
us.
going in, kind of just going in, I was like, "Ooh, this is gonna be Ross Chastain's weekend." I really want Ross Chastain to win. Like, I want to see him win a Cup race in person as well. So it's still a little biased, but I feel really good about that Trackhouse team. I think they're the coolest team in NASCAR right now, and they're now becoming one of the fastest teams in my opinion.
The chat is very clearly not going to let Eric get away from him. I'm saying
Chase
nothing
Elliott.
but 9.
It's Chase Elliott. Yeah, they stole it.
Putting it down.
Yeah, Blue Jimmy, I was surprised. He didn't pick Eric Almirola.
So literally the only thing they have different for points is Xfinity.
Wow.
They better be really hoping Barry does a lot better than
Yeah.
Reddick.
And chat, again, you are only +1 over Eric right now. So
We're playing the strategy game, man.
be consistent. Yeah. And I still have to catch you. Yeah, 3 of us still do. So still have quite a long season to go.
And speaking of a long time to go, we just wrapped up with pretty much all the show except for the rest of the super chats. We've had an early night.
Yeah, well, we didn't have much racing to talk about.
It's an off week, so it was an off week last week.
So let's get into the goofy stuff you guys have paid me to say live
gosh.
on stream. So let's
Here we
get into
go.
this. Where were we last at? Oh yeah, we were hot piss.
Never gets old.
The next one come in from J Crowder 175. Appreciate the $10 donation, very generous of you. I was at Knoxville in the pits. Friesen flipped right in front of me. Only saw 2 cameras. I thought it was an awesome race. So
It probably was pretty cool in person.
Yeah.
there was a good angle of her flip that ended up coming on YouTube. This
I
week,
saw that. Yeah. Good quality.
Another one from J Crowder 175. Appreciate the $10. He said, also the Knoxville facility is amazing. Hotel was by Old Iowa Speedway. Shame it ain't used for at least Xfinity. Also, shout out to Norm Benning Racing for VIP passes to Knoxville. Okay. So Norm Benning got him the VIP passes. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Norm, yes!
He didn't make the race, but hey, he's nice.
Norm
He's nice
is
at least.
is good people.
Yeah.
Groovy Goose coming in at $4.99. Appreciate that. I feel like Fox changed in 2020 when the Pro Invitational started. That's a good.
Oh, I remember.
point.
Oh gosh.
Fox hasn't been serious ever since. It's like they are on autopilot. Do you agree?
Yeah, to an
that's
The more I
extent,
think
yeah.
about it, it
that's
seems
fair.
like it.
Yeah.
That is very fair.
They haven't gotten out of that mode yet. Like, guys, it's over. The pit. We're not stuck inside anymore. We're not doing
It's over.
Yeah.
Melon Smasher 1. I bet they'll be happy if Ross Chastain wins this weekend. Giving it a $4.99. Appreciate that. How's it going, boys? Do we think we see Elliott Castroneves in NASCAR this year or next year?
Next
We kind of
year.
already talked
Yeah,
about that.
we answered that one.
But yeah, next year. PTM Billy, he'll probably be at Nashville this weekend. Appreciate the $1.99. Will there be a meetup/tweet up at the track? You know, I haven't heard anything from Bob yet, but I'm sure there will be. I know last year, right outside the front of the Speedway, there was a big Nashville Superspeedway sign. I imagine it would be right there. I don't think there was a tweet up last year because it was still in the weird COVID kind of transition.
I'm pretty sure there'll be one this year.
There'll probably be one this year. I'd imagine probably by the Nashville Superspeedway sign. Zach Todriff, appreciate the
Todd
$1.99.
The
What's
Todd.
up? The Todd.
That's the Todd right there.
okay,
We love
okay.
Todd Drift.
The John, yo!
Bro.
We love Zach Todd Drift.
Yeah.
Kyle 3000, appreciate it. $9.99. Kevin Harvick is amazing. I won't hear otherwise. Oh, you've been
Oh,
challenged,
there
chat.
we go.
You've been
Top
challenged.
10 driver all time.
There we
Wins
go.
wise.
Finally, some positivity on Harvick.
Alex Lumps, appreciate the $5. It is great. It is a great sorrow. I retire my character of Gordon the Big Engine, but honestly, I just got tired of this shtick.
Yeah,
I don't blame you.
I don't blame you, Alex. But
Yeah, I don't blame
hey,
you.
he's still got the profile pic, so you know it's Gordon
Yeah.
secretly. So I appreciate you coming on us with your name, man, and you'll always be Gordon the Big Engine to us.
Yes.
Napa Racing Fan 927, appreciate that for the $5. Nashville Superspeedway, the superspeedway that is not a superspeedway, and a track that is not in Nashville, unlike 5 F1 tracks, but in Lebanon, Tennessee.
That was a good.
That's-
yeah,
that's
that's
pretty
very
good.
based. Yeah, I love that. I love listening to it.
Nova Stone 12 coming in at $5. Appreciate that. I usually only watch lower series when there is cup drivers. If they bring attention to the lower series and tracks, then why everyone anti-cup drivers?
Because they don't want to see him win like all the time.
I think it just got to be
Yeah.
where like 2009, 2010, literally you knew the Xfinity, the nationwide guys had no chance.
Wasn't
Yeah,
as bad as 05, 06.
It was going to be Keselowski, Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, or Carl Edwards.
That was it. Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, even when Clint Boyer won his nationwide series championship, he was basically in the Cup Series at that point too.
Yeah.
So.
It was 2008,
you know.
yeah.
Atmos 1, appreciate the $4.99. Might go to my first solo race this year at Fall Bristol. Any tips on how to set it up or what to do? Go to all of the vendors outside the track, have some pals before the race, and if you have a Toyota, park for free at the Toyota parking lot. John Vandeventer, appreciate the $1.99. Cole Custer got engaged too. Congratulations, Cole.
Hey,
I didn't
that's
see
good.
that, but that's pretty cool.
Looking at the picks, Darian and Chap, you need to feel bad now. You're going to say he sucked right after he got engaged.
Oh, I mean, hey, on track and personal, it's way different.
They didn't know when they picked that. Wesley Wilson, appreciate $1.99. Trucks at Tazewell Speedway during the Bristol Dirt Weekend. That'd be crazy.
That would.
I still need to take these guys to Tazewell Speedway. They will go eventually.
Where is
I can
that?
tell the next one's about Chicago.
It's in East Tennessee. It's where I grew up
Oh,
at.
okay.
Corvette Racing 48, appreciate the $5. I'll say it with a stern face. Gentlemen, start your gunshots.
But it's okay. 70% of the city's good.
Shorty PJM, appreciate the $2.22. Look, NASCAR and IndyCar doubleheader, 7-4 tradition.
No,
Oh,
I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
July 4th.
Yeah,
haven't
July
been
4th.
Indy.
That's cool.
be interesting. Corvette Racing 48, appreciate $5. Daytona can be July 4th weekend, then Road America the week after, and Atlanta the regular season finale. Daytona, Atlanta can be run at night. I'd be alright with that.
I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Napa Racing Fan 927, appreciate it, $2. Rest in peace, Speed Channel. Speed was way better than FS1. I think we
Speed
can
really
all,
died for this, bro. It really died for
we
that.
can all agree on that. We'll never be able to beat Speed.
Nope.
We never knew what we had until it was gone. Actually, because these go away quicker. Blue Jimmy 48 fan, thanks for being a member for 14 months. And he said, for every super chat, you helped end the BFM jinx.
Guys, again, the BFM, it's not real, guys. It's just not real.
Oh,
all
it's
fake.
real.
It's all fake, bro.
Bake the Snake, appreciate the $5. Question for Jarrett. I know it's been 2 months, but did Darian get his trophy for the Mikey stream?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Yeah. That was from him, right? Was that
Yeah.
from him? Hey, thank you so much, man. Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah, no. It's awesome. I love it.
And then the Super Squad, didn't say anything, just dropped in $1. Appreciate that, Super
What's up,
Squad.
Super Squad?
Always good to see you. The Dom Goblin, appreciate $1.99. Danny, check Facebook. They're saying Kansas is down a race. We talked about that for a minute.
We talked about that.
Yeah, I mean, did we before the show?
We did it
or-
before,
before the
because
show.
I saw it. I read it out.
So
Okay.
let's real quick. So it was tweeted out there by someone who does not usually BS with this stuff. I think it was Colton.
Colton Cranmore
Yeah.
usually
He-
doesn't say anything for rumors.
Yeah, so he was saying that when he talked to someone who was a
With
season
the
ticket
ticket,
holder
yeah.
at Kansas, that they were told, again, all rumor, reckless speculation here, but that Kansas would be down to one date with the July 8th, I think, date, and would be run on a Saturday night, and Chicagoland would get the other date. Now, we don't know if it's true or not. You know, I want it to be true, but the thing that's really holding it back for me is the fact that Kansas, I believe, has a contract to like 2026 or 2027 with Hollywood Casino.
Yeah.
Unless they work something out there, I don't know how that would all go. But you know what? This super chat might be the first you hear of it, and if that's what happens, you heard it here first. Knock on wood. But I doubt this would happen. But if it does, I'm gonna be at Chicagoland next year. I'm not going to Chirac.
Yeah. That'll be kind of NASCAR's biggest kind of shot in the foot is give 2 options for Chicago and see which one does better.
Yeah.
I think the street course initially will, but the
Long-term,
speedway itself
yeah.
is a better long-term build upon it. Build like you did with Kansas.
But let's be honest, I don't think a single intermediate nowadays can hold 2 races and look aesthetically pleasing with a lot of people in the stands.
Even Darlington, like this past year, like I bet you the Southern 500 looked good, but it did not look good on TV.
Nope.
Like this past spring race. So
I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere down the line, every single intermediate only has 1 date, except for technically Charlotte because they have the Roval. But once again, we'll see what they do with the Roval.
Texas.
Yes. Or get rid of it entirely.
Appreciate the $9.99 coming from Jake Alcorn. Very generous of you, man. Hope to get out to this track for a race sometime in the future as it's fairly close. He's in Knoxville. He says, go Vols. Appreciate that, go Vols. Been there for a drift event, but pretty cool place. Y'all have fun.
Those drift events are fun.
Definitely will. It's not that far of a drive from Knoxville, Jake, so make sure you come out eventually to Nashville. I think there's even still tickets available, so hey, look online, man. Get your ticket, come out this weekend.
And hopefully the Vols make a bowl game this year. Right, Dan?
They should at least do that.
All right.
GN NASCAR fan 24, appreciate the $1.99. Nashville Cup will simulcast on Peacock as well.
I thought they all do that.
Well,
NBC
I think it's new this year because last year they had
Yeah.
the NBC Sports app, so it's kind of new for it this year. So.
Yeah, but I think that for all the races though, that they'll be simulcasting.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it'll just be another avenue for people to watch it with through NBC. Bake the Snake coming in again with another $5. And I think that's the last super chat for tonight. The trophy wasn't from me, but I was there when the guy gave it to you. Side note, still a bit surprised by your reaction when I told you who I am.
the snake.
Wait, what?
Bake the snake.
Oh, bake the...
Are
Oh,
you talking about the fairgrounds?
wait, the fair... No, not the fairground.
Was it at Martinsville?
Bristol.
No,
Oh,
Bristol. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
no.
I
Yeah.
was saying because I know we
Martinsville
met
and
someone at the
Bristol were back to
fairgrounds.
back.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Yeah.
He thought it was someone else. I thought, no, okay. I know who he is.
Okay, this doesn't reveal too much, so I'll say, me and Jarrett were joking about this. I finally got paid by YouTube.
Yay!
So
Finally.
full transparency, I ordinarily get paid from Google like really early on the 21st of each
yeah.
month. And I've been sitting here wondering, like, why have I not got the email saying I've been paid? And then finally tonight, I'm like, it's like relief right there.
Yeah.
One last super chat coming in from Nathan Diller. Appreciate the $5. IDK Player, you ever consider hosting your own iRacing league? That would be dope. Side note, Austin Dillon doesn't deserve the 3 car. That's kind of a hot take.
Whoa, well, addressing the first thing.
yeah,
whoa,
we're doing it.
We're doing
Yeah,
the league.
and
The NR Cup Series.
And our
Yeah.
Cup Series. I think I can at least say vaguely March 2023.
It's when it starts.
Is when it's going to start. So we are less than 9 months away from the premiere. We're actually closer to 8 months away.
Yeah.
And full transparency here, when it comes to this, the 3 of us have been working on this since the middle of 2021.
Yeah.
Like, we want this to be done right. It'll be about 2 years in the making. So we got some big ideas, big stuff, and you'll be
Lot of
finding out
big
on
projects.
Enter Night in America and the NASCAR Weekly podcast throughout the year.
Yeah.
Probably.
Be on the lookout.
And then another $2 come in from Napa Racing Fan 927. They say 5 p.m. start is dumb. I'd rather have a full night race. I kind of agree upon
I
that.
agree. Yeah.
I think they're trying to maximize the viewership.
Because think about how long does it... It doesn't get dark here until like, what, 8:30?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
race will be done about 7:30.
So it's
Maybe 8
not
o'clock.
it's not going to be close to a night race unless the rain. The rain's probably going to make it one.
I think what they're trying to do is just maximize primetime viewership on big NBC first race. I hope the rain stays away so we can get lucky with that because I think I would like to have that big boost TV ratings wise into the next half of the season.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Man.
leave that like button.
That looks like that's about it. And oh darn, we have no Dale call.
No Dale call this week.
But hey, before we actually get out of here, though, let's just say Nick
Pulling up.
next week's show, we will be not together like this in person. We'll be welcoming Eric back on a show, kicking this guy out of here.
Yeah.
Just kidding. We love you, IDK.
We love IDK.
Next week at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Jarrett's channel, and we'll go over all the events. We'll go over all the events from Nashville, and we'll preview the 4th of July weekend. That'll be another race in a row that we all go to.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's going to do it for us here tonight.
I found the Dale Call commercial.
That's close enough.
Yeah, close
All
enough.
Am I going to get copyrighted for it?
It's just the Dale Call sound.
Okay, sure, play it.
All right.
All right.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Holy moly. Great job! Yeah! This guy. Thank you! Wow! Hell yeah. Woo-hoo! Great job, man!
And we got a crash. Car spinning left and right.
Buddy, let her rip. Rain like hell, baby! Come on! Oh my god, guys! Yes! Yes! Unbelievable! You guys are the best! Yes, 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 yes! Oh, what a year!